Have you fallen down the cottage industry rabbit hole yet? Well, if not, buckle up, Alice, and click on over to the description in the show notes and sign up. Then you can get ready for the most fun induction into the cult of all things yarn and fiber. This will include, but not limited to, free yarn, free ebooks, patterns, coupons, and much more. You don't want to miss out.
You are listening to Crime, Coffee, and Crafts, a podcast featuring two crafty besties who love true crime and a good cup of joe.
Hey, amateur sleuths. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Heidi.
Hello.
Welcome.
Willkommen to our podcast.
Yes. Where we talk about creepy shit. I mean,
Have a lot of fun.
It is fun.
So before we get into anything, Heidi has been making fedoras on her cocoon homespun, and I'm sure you guys have already seen my unboxing, but I just wanted to show it again. It's so pretty.
Yay!
My hat. I can't wait to wear it.
I always want to wear mine, but I can't because headphones.
Stinky headphones.
So,
but we'll have to do some promo photos because Heidi's hat is the same.
It's true.
Ribbon as mine,
yes.
But different brooch,
yes.
Right?
Yep. Yeah. And that is vintage.
So we're matchy.
Vintage fabric.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Coffee.
Café. Sorry, I've been taking Spanish.
I am drinking our favorite roasters these days.
Hell yes.
I had another coffee from TBD Coffee Co.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called First Team Roast. And if you're watching, the art is pretty cool. So
I love all their artwork.
I'm not going to say where it's from, but everyone will probably recognize that it's Pulp Fiction-esque. So,
oh hell yes. Oh yes, definitely.
It's really good. I like it a lot. It's roasted in Temecula, California, and it's farm direct, roasted to order, small batch coffee. The artwork is done by the owner's boyfriend.
Yes.
Ashley is the owner.
Support them.
Support TBD Co.
Also follow them on Instagram because they're fucking funny.
They are. We really love them. We love their material that they put out. Their content.
Their
content. The content. So tbdcoffeeco.
Yes.
.com.
Word.
Drink it. It's delicious. Every one of their coffees I've had, I enjoy. And that's why I keep drinking it.
I mean, yeah.
So go find them.
You just need like a pool filled with coffee beans.
Ooh, we'll do some backstroke.
That would be so fun. Except we would sink. It's kind of like one of those grain silos.
Yeah, I feel like it would not be safe.
You could die in there from suffocating.
Probably.
Death by coffee bean. All right.
Artwork. I did a skull drawing. It's pen and ink cross hatching,
Ooh,
and
that's rough. Cross hatching is rough for me.
this one was very it's very simplistic.
What I
but
mean
it was
is I'm
really
not good at
fun.
it.
It is difficult, but once you figure out, like, the pens I use
Mm-hmm.
are different millimeters,
Okay.
so they have different thicknesses.
Right.
Trying to find the correct verbiage, but
It's okay.
so yeah, this is,
Hell yes.
you see my
Yes,
skull,
it's perfect.
my scully.
Super cool.
I love this one.
Yeah.
It's my fave.
Awesome.
And I did a series of 3 different skulls, but I wanted to show this one because, as you can tell, I like drawing skulls
Duh.
per our
I mean,
logo.
hello. Skulls are cool.
So I would be willing to sell that if we had somebody that wanted it. And
Yeah.
gave Heidi a good number.
$1 million.
Hey, then we could do this full time and put out episodes every day and write books.
I know.
Wouldn't that be so fun?
Anybody want to like be the
Sponsor us?
podcast sugar daddy?
That's what we need. Without the sugar.
I mean, yeah.
Because we already,
We just want the money.
yeah.
You get no benefits.
I mean, you can have some profit, maybe.
Yeah.
Percentage, but yeah. Our dream is to just do this full time and write books and have fun.
Yes. Because
But,
it's fun. It is fun.
Because it is fun, and that's what we we started this is just to have fun.
Also, everybody cross your fingers and wish that I win the house in North Carolina.
Yes.
Because that's where the HDTV smart home is this year.
Nice.
In Wilmington.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
close.
I know.
That is close.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a really sweet house. I'm like, there's my podcast room right there. I'll just like go down. We'll have the recording studio and
Perfect. Yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Anyway.
Aw. I guess we should get into this.
Yeah.
So
I'm scared.
Trigger warnings. She's scared because she has no idea what I'm doing, and I could just pop off at any second with something weird.
Possible.
So, trigger warnings, there's sexual assault, murder, mutilation, and cannibalism.
Oh God,
I'm just always just all about that cannibalism, guys.
So funny because like I know of a handful of podcast ladies that always cover cannibals, and you're one of them.
I don't know why. They just are drawn to me.
It's so extreme. Yeah.
It is.
It's fascinating.
It is. And this one is just crazy.
Sweet.
So this week I watched The Tinder Swindler. It's a movie on Netflix. And I had been thinking for the last couple months that I wanted to do an online dating episode for the podcast.
Yeah, be careful, people.
So after watching the documentary, I decided to do an episode on a specific case and also maybe talk about tips for online dating safety, because in our current society, if you are dating, you're most likely meeting people on one of the various dating applications.
Yep.
And I'm not going to lie, I met my amazing, wonderful boyfriend on one of those dating sites. So
we're going robotic again.
Can't fault the dating. Are we sure?
It just went. You're good now.
Okay. Maybe it was just me being.
No, it was definitely not.
So I got lucky to have met him on there. but most people are not as lucky as I was.
I know a whole lot of people who've met their husbands or wives on there. So
Yeah, there are chance meetings, and you can.
including
My mom.
that's how her and Phil met.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and they are super lovely.
Oh my gosh.
They are so cute together. They're
Ridiculous.
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 We love them.
Yes.
But for many people, they'll go on a string of first dates and nothing goes anywhere. And sometimes they go for a little while, and a lot of times they're just texting back and forth and never meet. And sadly, sometimes these dates lead to sexual assaults and even murder.
Yikes.
Murder most foul. So, before I get into my specific case, I want to talk about how important dating safety is.
Yes.
A lot of folks throw caution to the wind and let life happen. And for many, that's not a safe approach. But a lot of people are risk takers, and they just go by the seat of their pants, so to speak.
Right.
If you decide to date strangers off the internet, it's important to have a lot of things put in place. Never, ever, ever keep a date a secret.
Oh, fuck no.
Let someone know you are going on a date, number one, where you're meeting, who you're meeting, and of any address changes.
Absolutely.
Make sure that you give a trusted person that information.
Yeah.
I did just that, because when I, first met David, I was like, all right, I got to get all my little
get your ducks in a row.
safety ducks in a row. And luckily for me, everything turned out wonderfully. So,
yeah.
And yes, but also make sure that you've taken some sort of self-defense class. Every town and city these days has programs, even some free resources. Like sometimes they give a free Saturday self-defense class, and then you can continue on in the program if you like at a cost, but you can pretty much find at least one day, and in that one day you can learn so many things to protect yourself, especially for females. And this is not
or targets.
It is just that is the way it's always been. If you are a female, you unfortunately have to put so many more safety precautions put in place,
right,
to make sure that you survive every day. And this is not a episode against men, because
not at all.
It's just saying there in history have been a lot of reasons why women need to protect themselves more than men.
Yes.
But also men need to protect themselves too.
Absolutely.
They're always,
absolutely.
Any one of us could be victim to anything. Another thing is that carry some sort of object that can be used as a weapon in your vehicle, in your purse, on your person. I myself always carry a knife, and have since I was like 14.
I pity the fool that fucks with me.
Right?
If I get pulled over, I have to be like, do I have knives in my car? Yes. Also, I have a weapon on my keychain. Also, there's a knife in my purse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of, this is a side note. If you are pulled over as a female alone at night,
oh yeah,
please go to a lit area, maybe a gas station if you can, somewhere where there's something. And you can also call in to your local non-emergency line or just call 911 and say, hey, I'm being pulled over. Please tell the officer I'm trying to find a lit area.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
Nothing at all. Because there have been many instances where someone was impersonating an officer and has murdered women or other people. It happens.
It happened a long time ago in San Diego where
yes.
There was an officer. It was a real officer, which is really scary.
Yes.
Ugh.
So that's just my little tip.
Someday we'll cover that.
My little safety tip. Okay. But since I am a cop and I know how to use guns, and while I don't always carry outside of my home, it is good to have that knowledge. So if you can take a firearms course or anything, it's just good to know, because if they have a weapon.
Anybody can take a firearms course.
Yeah.
They have them.
Yeah.
If you have a gun, if you're going to carry, take a class.
Yeah. Because everyone needs to protect themselves best they can.
Yeah.
Another good practice is to Google the person you're going to go
see if they're real
with. So you can look them up on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere Google can find them. And in this day and age, you just can't be too careful. I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's stalker behavior.
No, it's not.
Be weird. Be safe. Stay alive. These are all things that we've got to do, because I always make sure, I have resources, just like it's just easy to Google
really
anybody.
Easy to Google people, and
especially if they're a human, like honestly, a real person.
That's not stalker behavior until it. Seriously, like
if you're already dating the person and like.
If you're constantly looking at the same person's Facebook and Instagram, you might have a problem.
Yeah. And, there are things to let unfold. Like, you should probably learn about the person personally in person. Not like, don't figure out, like, don't friend his grandma and then an aunt, and like, that's weird.
That's creepy.
Just do your initial search on the person you're going to date to make sure that they're even a viable person to date. Those are my safety tips, y'all.
Public service announcement.
It's also important to have boundaries and to never compromise how you feel in any situation. If your gut tells you something is wrong and doesn't feel right, then leave because most likely your gut is right and that person's no good.
Your sixth sense is real.
Really real.
Trust it.
If something feels off, it probably is, and it's time to let your trusted person know that something isn't right.
Absolutely.
This is like during the date.
I also want to say you can you can share your location from your phone on not only like from like on an iPhone, from that person's like contact info. Mm-hmm. You can share your location right from there. You can also share your location on Snapchat with your friends.
Yeah.
And there are several different apps that you can use to share your location with your loved ones.
Yep.
They do drain your battery, but if you're going out on dates with people you don't know, share your fucking location.
Yeah.
It's smart.
It is very smart. So sadly, we have to guard ourselves so strongly because people aren't always good, nor do they have good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
I do wish that everything was rainbows and unicorns, but unfortunately, we live in a world where there is more violence than kindness. And that's why I'm always preaching, lift each other up, don't tear each other down.
Absolutely.
And it's that age-old battle of good versus evil.
Yeah. It's sad.
Yeah. So prepare yourself, because now we're on to evil
Yikes.
stripes. Sadly, for several people, dating has gone bad. And for this victim, he had a very tragic end.
Oh.
And you heard me correctly. He had a very tragic end. I'm sure everyone was expecting for me to talk about female victims in this episode, but males are quite often victims to sexual assault and murder from their dates online as well.
Yep.
So, meet Kevin Bacon. And I'm not talking about the lovable, wonderful actor who plays guitar and sings to his goats, Kevin Bacon. Because that's what he does.
I love it.
And I follow him on Instagram because,
of course, he does.
It's awesome. I am talking, however, about a 25-year-old hairdresser from Schwartz Creek, Michigan, which is a town near Flint. So Kevin was a gay man who used the Grindr dating app. And typically that site is used to meet a guy, have sex, and go back home.
Right.
It's not known for finding true love, but rather to find hookups.
Right.
The site is geared toward the gay, bisexual, and transgender men in society and to give a non-judgmental place for them to go and meet people.
Right.
And I will say, I have friends that met on this app. I'm pretty sure it was this app, and are married and have been together for 8 years.
Amazing.
And they are, I love that couple. I love you guys. You probably don't listen, but
that's okay.
We've been friends for a long time. And I remember when they started dating.
That's awesome.
They just are good peeps. And I'm glad that they actually did find true love on that app.
Yeah.
But typically that's like a 1% chance on this specific dating app because it's just not known for that. It's
not geared for
hookup.
That. Yeah,
it's a hookup site. Christmas Eve 2019.
Oh, that's
relatively recent.
Shit.
Kevin texted his roommate Michelle Myers around 6 p.m. saying he was going out to meet a date. Now he did say he was going to meet a date, but he didn't say anything else.
Right.
He didn't say who he would be with or where he was going, just he was going out.
And just, we're not victim blaming. We're just stating facts.
Yeah. And I'm only reiterating this because I want our listeners to know that if you are going to online date, to just put in all of those safety precautions.
Yeah.
It's just so important because you never really know who you're meeting.
Right.
It's taking blind date to a whole nother level. Yeah. Because usually, like back in the 80s when you had a blind date, like it was a friend hooking you up with a person they already knew.
I was set up with Ben.
That is true.
I was set up with my previous fiance as well.
That's true.
I'm not good at meeting people on my own.
Yeah.
Hashtag introvert. All right, carry on.
So, now mind you, it was Christmas Eve. So when Kevin didn't show up for Christmas breakfast at his family's home, they decided to report him missing. Now, luckily, things changed. So now when you report someone missing immediately, a search is like an investigation is started.
Right.
During the search for Kevin, police found his vehicle at a Family Dollar parking lot in Clayton Township. And in the vehicle was Kevin's phone, wallet, clothing, and other belongings.
Fuck. God damn. Sorry, that makes like every sense go up.
Oh, when you find that, it's
not a good omen.
Yeah, it's sad. The search through his phone found conversations on the dating app Grindr, which led to some disturbing sexual conversations with a man named Mark Lewinsky.
That's a name.
It
All
is a
right.
name. When officers arrived at Latunsky's home late at night on December 27th, he answered the door in a leather kilt.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck yeah, that's cool. But
he did not appear nervous and allowed authorities to search the house. Police found a secret room of the house. And when police went into the room, they found Kevin's body lifeless and strung up in the basement.
shut the fuck up.
Serious. As
He
a heart
like,
attack.
wow. Okay.
It gets worse.
This guy is fucking crazy.
Yes.
Okay.
Latunsky quickly admitted to the murder. He said he stabbed, so trigger warnings, I'm going to go into some gory detail about what happened, just because it helps, like, all the other stuff. He stabbed Kevin in the back of the neck twice, strung him up by his ankles, and slit his throat. He then castrated him with a knife and took his testicles upstairs, where he cooked them and ate them. Process.
Yeah. All I can think of is Rocky Mountain oysters.
Luckily, they believe that he was already dead,
right,
when he was stabbed in the neck and before he was strung up.
Okay.
So I believe, and I want to feel like he had a quick death and did not have to go through this part.
Yeah.
So Latunsky also said he planned to use Kevin's blood and bones to fertilize plants on his property. He had hoped to use his muscles for jerky. And a few days prior, it says that the Postal Service intercepted a package before the murder, and it was a dehydrator for making jerky. Almost like,
why'd they intercept it though?
I don't know.
Interesting.
That's what I didn't understand. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Latunsky was charged with 2 felonies, homicide and mutilation of a dead body. Some states have mutilation of a dead body as a misdemeanor.
What?
So this one is a felony.
Good.
Yeah, because there was a case long ago, when I was working for San Diego PD as a investigative aide, as a volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a case where neighbors had seen flies on the side of a wall.
Yeah.
And so there was a well check done. There's an older lady who lived there with her son.
Okay.
And there was no signs of the older lady. And the son, I guess, broke down and said that she had died of natural causes, but he was collecting her Social Security. So he chopped her up and put her in the wall.
Oh my God.
So that crime was only a misdemeanor because he just mutilated the body. It was already dead. He didn't do anything. He didn't kill her. But
right.
So I don't know if that's changed because it's been like 20 years, maybe.
Right.
Now. So I just felt it was interesting. I was like, really? That's only a misdemeanor? But
yeah, that is very weird.
In this case, it's a felony. So
as it should be.
So he was charged with the 2 felonies. Now, initially, he said his name was Wilk Olikos Vilkas. And later claimed he was really Edgar Thomas Hill from the Thomas clan of Wales. But he changed his name to Mark Latunsky for his own protection. So he started spinning this weird
For his
story.
own protection?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then when he was talking about the events leading up to the murder,
Mhm.
he claimed that Kevin had asked him to end his life and that he'd slit his throat as part of that agreement. But according to one of the newspapers, the evidence showed that Kevin took precautions to protect himself, and the police recovered messages that asking Lewinsky to confirm to him that he would be safe. So Lewinsky, his lawyer still tried to add a charge of assisted suicide to assert this claim, but the judge denied the request.
Yeah, if there's no
They
evidence.
showed the messages that Kevin wanted to come out of this alive and didn't want help
Right.
to be killed. Due to the intense nature of this crime, the case drew a lot of media attention, and the murder drew international headlines. It became quite a sensationalized story. It turns out, though, that Kevin was the third man who had been allegedly attacked by Lewinsky.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. On October 10th, 2019, a 48-year-old man, James Carlson, had called 911 and said he'd been kidnapped and awoke in Lewinsky's basement.
Shit.
Carlson is quoted in saying, "I met this guy. I'm like, he's cute. He hit on me. I don't know. We went out to the car and talked. We went to the store, had a soda, and I woke up in the basement."
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Carlson told the 911 operator that he had been chained up and freed himself using a butcher knife to cut off the leather strap that had bound his wrists, and he escaped Lewinsky's house. With the butcher knife in hand, he stole Lewinsky's car keys. So he didn't take the car, but he took the car keys before running down a 3-mile stretch of road.
Oh my God.
He said, "I've never, ever had anything like this happen. I don't know if he drugged me. All I know is I ended up locked up in a fucking basement, okay? Chained in the basement."
You definitely got drugged, dude.
Yeah.
For real. Yikes.
Yeah. Within 10 minutes, troopers arrived to find Carlson on the side of the road. Carlson told officers the man was a stranger and he declined to press charges.
Okay.
Yeah. 6 weeks after Carlson's run-in with sorry,
It's okay. I understand.
words are hard.
They are.
6 weeks after Carlson's run-in with Lewinsky on the afternoon of November 25th, mind you, this is a month before
Yeah.
murder of Kevin Bacon. A 29-year-old man ran out of the same home and called 911. He escaped wearing a leather kilt that belonged to Lewinsky.
Oh my God.
Lewinsky chased after him. With the 911 operator, he said, "I'm trying to get away from some creepy guy. He had me tied up in this basement." The man told the operator, according to an audio recording released by the county, "He's after me." Soon after, he ran to a neighbor's home, pleading with them in the 911 audio to give him an address he could give to the police. A state trooper showed up at the neighbor's home, but once again, no charges were filed.
It's a common thing, though, in not just the gay community, but with men. It's a very common thing that they don't report sexual assaults or anything
Yeah.
like that. But it is especially uncommon because they don't get listened to a lot in the gay community.
Right.
It's really
So neither
fucked up.
one of the men wanted to press charges, so the police didn't do anything further. And it's probably due to the sexual nature of each incident. The
Yeah.
men probably felt embarrassed
Yep.
and didn't want any media attention, nor did they want to pursue anything further.
Well, and they may also not have been out to their family or
Yeah, there's a
friends or
whole
anything,
list of
Yeah.
reasons why they would keep it a secret. And
Yeah.
I just implore people, please, please, please report when something tragic happens to you, any kind
Yeah.
of trauma, because you can't just live with that. You have got to work through it.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. You're not to blame. There's no reason why any victim of violence should feel like it's their fault.
Yeah.
It's not. The choices of their attacker or murderer is their choices,
Right.
not the victim's choices. And I try and explain that to people so often, but people are just so embarrassed at the situations they get themselves into.
Right.
It's so important to remember that you are not at fault. This is
Right.
not your there's no reason for you to feel blame or should be embarrassed.
Right.
There's far so much stuff happening to people that doesn't get reported because they don't talk about it.
Right.
So that's just my little 411. And for those that don't know, 411 is what you dialed on a telephone for information.
You know, one of those home phones.
In cases of stranger assault such as this, police have the ability to persuade victims to make a complaint, but if they're not getting cooperation from witnesses or victims, it's
Mhm.
very hard to investigate and very rarely will go to trial and have a conviction.
Right.
There's also a place for the police to balance and respect the wishes of a crime victim against society's interest in pursuing criminals. One of the ways the police can do that is persuasion, trying to convince the complaining witness to cooperate with the investigation. But even if police had launched an investigation, there are those who say it would have no influence because assault cases, especially those with reluctant witnesses, are difficult to prosecute
Right.
and often result in little jail time. In Michigan, assault convictions can carry a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison and a $5,000 fine, but without complaining witnesses,
Right.
convictions will become less likely.
Right. Because that's their only evidence, basically.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So Latunsky faces the following charges: 1 count of open murder, murder, 1 count of open murder, punishable by up to life in prison, and 1 count of mutilation of a dead body, punishable by up to 10 years in prison and or a $5,000 fine. Now,
Lock 'em up.
fast forward to 2022. He has not gone to trial yet due to needing another psychological evaluation.
Also
So,
COVID.
yeah. So this case is open and ongoing, and we will give an update ASAP when it's available.
Fuck.
Yeah, so he's sitting in jail waiting. He's
Well,
not
yeah.
like out on bond or anything, but
As he shouldn't be. Oof.
yeah, don't let
That's-
this man go out.
No.
But some other things, this man, Mark Latunsky, was a father of 4 and married to a woman named Emily. He was a chemist. He had he was married to his wife from 2001 to 2013. After, in 2010, he started to kind of go off the rails. And between 2010 and 2012, he had been diagnosed with major depressive disorder, paranoid schizophrenic, and traits of personality disorder.
Oh no. Okay.
So Emily just couldn't help him any further.
Right.
And so that's why she filed for divorce. He has been trying for an insanity defense because it just kind of went off the rails. Now, he also has a husband. Like after that whole thing, he became married to a man named Jamie Arnold. And they were kind of estranged at the time of this murder. But that day on Christmas, he had spent some time with him. And he said that he seemed normal, nothing crazy, nothing was going on.
So his insanity plea might be out?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's pretty crazy. But this man had a master's in chemistry from the state of Iowa. He had a really good job making over $100,000 a year, but he was fired in 2019, probably before he started his sexual crimes, because he wasn't taking his medication for his diagnosed stuff.
Shit.
Right. So
maybe it is still going to work. But I mean, either way, even if he gets that insanity plea, he will be locked up, just not in a prison per se. He might be in like a state hospital.
Right. So, I mean,
yikes. Dude.
Crazy. This is still ongoing, but that is all the information I have.
Scheiße.
It's a rough one.
Intense and so recent.
Yeah, it's very recent, and things are happening like this all the time. Like,
yeah, yikes. Dude.
There was just recently a case close by where a woman went on a blind date with someone she met online in a dating site and was sexually assaulted and raped.
Right.
So it's just, that's why I wanted to talk about online safety or online dating safety.
Online safety in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's not just those types of predators either that are online.
Right.
It's, you know.
Well, like in the Tinder swindler.
Yeah.
He was manipulating women to be in these relationships with him, saying he was diamond heir, Israeli diamond heir. And so he had all this money, had a bodyguard and a plane, but really he was using money from one woman to expense another woman, and so on and so forth. And he's still doing it now. It's a really good documentary, but it makes you so mad and sad for these women who took out like so much money. He would make these women fall in love with him, and they were like, well, he's my boyfriend, he's in danger, I need to send him money.
Oh my God.
Guess what?
Yeah.
I was telling David this yesterday because he was out of town for a week for work, and we had a date last night, and we were going to the grocery store, and I was telling him, he was asking me about what I was going to record. Mm-hmm. So I kind of told him about it, and I told him about the movie, and he looks at me, he goes, honey, I was robbed in Delaware. I'm going to need you to give me some money now so that I can be okay. I was like, you're fine. You're good.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If anybody's trying to get money out of you, that's a red flag.
Huge red flag.
That's why I'm really glad that like Dwight doesn't know how to use a lot of things. Like he doesn't really text message because he's not
He
great
could
at
get
it.
taken advantage
Dude, he
of.
gets so many fucking spam text
Oh yeah,
messages,
the
phone
elderly.
calls,
Yeah,
and that just pisses me off because people are like calling and saying, it's your grandson. Blah, blah, blah,
I
I
got
need money. Oh, yeah.
There have been people that have been victim to that
Yes, a lot of
and
people
send
have.
thousands of dollars and
Yeah. Lose their life savings.
yeah,
And these are people that are on a fixed income.
right.
That pisses me off. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like people being scammed and swindled. It's not it's not cool, man.
Yeah, no,
So
definitely
um
not. Oh, man.
I got all my stuff Rolling Stone, Washington Post, New York Post.
Nice.
There's nothing on Wiki. There's nothing on Murderpedia yet probably because it's not
Right. It's an ongoing
finalized. It's ongoing. So,
right.
but if you look at the guy now, like, it's creepy. I don't know how people fell for him, but maybe he was clean cut before he got his crazy beard. But
yeah,
Mark Latunsky looks crazy.
Maybe
He
he's
does not look cute.
maybe he's charming.
I don't know.
You're like,
I don't know.
All right. Do we have anything else we need to say before we go?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
All right.
Just everyone go and check out our stuff, man.
Be safe out there, people.
Yeah, please.
Yes.
Please be safe.
Yes.
Be protective of yourself.
Protect yourself. Anyway, until next time, ta-ta.
For now.
Thanks for listening to Crime, Coffee, and Crafts. If you love our podcast, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. This helps us more than you know. If you really love us and want to support us, go to our website at www.crimecoffeeandcrafts.com. From there, you can join our Patreon, shop our merch, and find us on social media.